My name is Barb Pattison and I own Cisco Sewing Supplies and Notions.com and .ca, where I sell sewing supplies and notions online. In this video, I will show you how to wind a bobbin and thread an antique Singer sewing machine. Here is the spool pin where the spool of thread will go. And this is the first thread guide. Down here is the tension springs, and here is the bobbin winding mechanism. Put the spool of thread on the spool pin. Bring the thread end through the first thread guide and then around the tension discs. Here's a close-up of the tension discs. I apologize for the blurry picture, but my video camera didn't do a very good job of zooming in. I have no cameraman, so I'm doing this all by myself. Bring the thread end over to the right and then drop it. Now bring the thread end over to the bobbin winding mechanism. Thread it through the bottom thread guide without catching in the wire spring like I did. You can just drop the thread here. Now you're going to pull the spring end, the left end of the bobbin holder, out so you can insert the little divot on the end of the bobbin into the little hole in the bobbin holder. Here's a neat little trick my mother-in-law used to use. Bring the thread end up and pinch it between the right end of the bobbin and the right side of the bobbin holder. It will be secure there and can't wind the wrong way. Use a pair of scissors to snip off the excess thread. Disengage the needle by turning the smaller inner wheel in the middle of the hand wheel toward you as far as it will go. Sorry, I did not get this part on video. Gently push the entire bobbin winding mechanism up to engage the rubber tire next to the hand wheel. Make sure it is touching. Information about adjusting this part of the machine can be found in your manual. Turn the hand wheel toward you a couple of times to begin the winding process. Make sure the guide that follows the silver heart-shaped disc follows it all the way around. If not, it will need adjustment. Your manual explains how to do this as well. If you are satisfied, press the presser foot or work the treadle or turn the hand crank, however you power the machine. The goal is to fill the bobbin evenly from side to side. Refer to your machine manual for adjustment instructions if your machine winds more thread to one end of the bobbin. Assuming everything is good, let her rip. These machines do not have a bobbin winding stop on them, so you have to pay attention and stop the machine as the bobbin gets full. If you overfill it, you will have a mess of tangled thread. When it is full, cut the thread and remove the bobbin. Disengage the bobbin winding mechanism and re-engage the needle by turning the small inner wheel on the right end of the machine in the middle of the hand crank wheel away or to the top away from you. Here is the bobbin case for this machine. It is shaped similar to a bullet. It has a long curved slot down the side. This is where the thread will go under the bobbin tension regulator. The bobbin itself is reversible. Insert it either end up into the case, leaving the thread end out. Bring the thread end down the slot and pull firmly at the bottom to slide it under the bobbin tension regulator. Remove the bobbin cover from the machine and turn the hand wheel down or toward you as needed to center the bobbin case holder in the machine opening. Holding the flatter side facing you, insert the bobbin case into the machine like this. Push the excess thread end into the machine like this and replace the cover. Now on to threading the sewing machine. I have removed the thread and will show you the entire process from the beginning. Put the spool of thread on the spool pin. Bring the thread end through the first guide, then down around the tension discs. Again, make sure the thread pops into the little wire thread holder as you're wrapping it around the tension discs. Next, poke the thread end through the hole in the thread take-up lever that moves up and down when the hand wheel is turned. Make sure this is turned to the top of its cycle or the highest it will go before going any further. The next thread guide is almost directly below the take-up lever. On this machine there is a tiny opening at the back side of this guide so the thread can snap into it easily from the back toward the front. There is one more thread guide at the top of where the needle is inserted. There is usually a tiny opening on the left side of this guide for the thread to go through, but sometimes it's on the right side. Other machines may have two guides here for twin needle stitching. If you are doing single needle stitching, it usually doesn't matter that much which of the guides you go through. Just make sure the thread goes through one of them. Needles are always held in sewing machines in one of two ways. Either the hole is threaded from the left to the right or from the front to the back. This machine holds the needle so the hole is open to the side. It will be threaded from the left to the right. The flat side of the top part of the needle faces the same way as the open hole in the needle. Your manual will tell you which way your machine needle will go in. If you don't have the manual, don't worry, the needle will only go in one way. If it won't go in the sewing machine needle clamp, roll the needle a quarter of a turn and try again. I had difficulty threading the needle while holding the video camera here, so the threading was done off camera. Now with the needle threaded and holding the thread end firmly, turn the hand wheel down or toward you for one full cycle. This will catch the bobbin thread and bring it up. Slide something flat under the presser foot. Here I used my scissors to bring both ends out. Pull them under the presser foot toward the back of the machine before beginning sewing.